So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go over the main points of the inspection. We'll talk about kind of the big picture. I'm going to have the full inspection report sent out to you. I should be able to get out to you late tonight.
Okay.
If you don't see it tonight, for whatever reason, you should have it by the end of the day tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Okay, so pretty quick turnaround.
Okay.
Once you get that, if you have any questions or if there's anything that I can help with,
Right.
my contact information is on the card. So
Perfect.
feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help with anything that's going forward.
Yeah.
You'll also notice when you receive the report, all of the comments will be color coded. So we have blue comments, which would be our low priority items. Those would be like maintenance, handyman stuff,
Right.
Not minor issues. Okay, very minor issues.
That's blue, you said?
Blue.
Okay.
We have orange comments, which would be more of our recommendations. And those would
Okay.
be like repair items that might be a little bit more outside of like the handyman scope.
Right.
Or something that we really recommend. Hey, this should probably be taken care of sooner than later.
Okay.
And then red comments, which would be more system issues or like potential safety concerns. Those are typically more pressing or more significant issues. So that's how, anybody reading through the report would kind of figure out what's what. Okay. There's also going to be quite a few pictures and videos. So again, read through it. If you have any questions, let me know.
Awesome.
Now, before we get into the details, I want to kind of break the tension. The home's in pretty good shape. There's been a ton of work done to the property, as you know, and obviously like major renovations and add-ons. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there are a couple things here that are either original with the home that are showing that age.
Right.
That's kind of to be expected. You would see that on every house.
Sure.
And we'll get into that, but there are also just like general, pretty minor, typical repairs, like just that you see with any property. Okay, so I will say that for the age of the property, this was originally built in the early 20s.
22.
22.
Yeah.
Okay. So for a 100-year-old house, there's been a ton of work done. I mean, overall, it's in pretty good
Yeah.
shape. Yeah, I usually see a lot more issues.
Sure. Great.
So we'll start with some of the main systems. Starting with your electrical system. The electrical has been updated, obviously. You have several different electrical panels, but I was able to open up there's 3 of them. So I was able to open up all 3 panels. Everything's wired properly in the panels. I'm not really seeing any particular issues there. These have been redone in 21-ish?
Yeah, 21, 22.
Somewhere around there. Okay, so it's,
yeah.
really, they're only a few years old.
Yeah,
They're in great shape.
Great.
I didn't see really anything that needs to be done on the panels.
Okay.
As I was going through the interior of the home and checking plugs, it does look like there's been a lot of rewiring done. I don't know, like if it's 100. It's hard for me to know with the insulation and everything, but as far as I could tell, going through everything showing is grounded, which tells me it's probably been rewired.
Okay.
The original wiring system, there's no ground, and so that's one way I can kind of identify. I did see a lot of newer, what's called Romex wiring up in the attic space and crawl space. So it looks like there's been not only the panels, but also like an update to the infrastructure of the house. So overall, the electrical actually looks really good. It's, you have the backup system, everything's brought up to more of a modern standard there. And so for an older home like this, the electrical is typically, in my experience, one of the main concerns because a lot of times it's still original.
Right.
And while it might be working, it's pretty old. 100-year-old. Yeah, it's pretty old.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
So that's already been done. So that looks great.
Great.
Plumbing system, same thing. The plumbing system's been fully updated. So it is copper reed-pipe for the house, and then PEX, which is the plastic tubing for the ADU. It's just more modern.
Right.
But both systems are in good working order. I didn't come across any active leaking, like in the crawl spaces, or really any significant functional concerns. There was one spot on the main drain line in the underneath the house in the crawl space below us, where I think it just needs to be adjusted, like the straps need to be adjusted. There's a section where the drain line kind of has like a little bit of a hump in it. And it doesn't seem to be I ran a lot of water through it. It doesn't seem to be affecting anything, but that's a potential clog area. It's going to kind of slow down right there. So it looks to me like just a matter of adjustment. It shouldn't be a major thing, but that's really the only thing you're going to be seeing as far as like a repair item in the report. Plumbing looks really good. That's another thing that it typically needs to be done by now, right? But that was done recently, so that looks good.
Great.
Heating and AC. Now the heating and AC, we'll talk about, you have 2 different types of systems for the house and the ADU. For the house, it's more of a traditional split system. The system's actually in good working order, both heating and cooling. I did notice that the heater is a little bit older than the AC. The heater is manufactured, I think, 2005 or 6, if I remember correctly. So it's right about the 20-year mark. The condenser is newer. I have 2019 on that.
Right.
So that's relatively new.
Yeah.
So So the system's working in both heating and cooling. I didn't see any major functional issues on it.
Okay.
But going forward, maintenance, at least on the heating side of the system, would be important for a buyer. You know, they
Right.
want to change the filters, maintain it as best they can, but eventually it's going to age out.
Okay.
So that's they'll have to kind of keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
But for now, I mean, it's kicking along just fine.
Great.
Yep.
That's all we can hope for with that system. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these.
Yeah.
I mean, most people just ride them till the wheels fall
Yeah.
off. I did the same thing in my house. Like you repair, and then you repair it, and then at some point they're like, we
Yeah.
can't get the parts
Yeah.
anymore, so you just
I
replace
know,
it. You know, that's exactly what happened.
I was getting to that point, but it's held up. It's just only when it's like mid 90s, like sometimes it just like has trouble keeping
Just
up,
have- yeah.
but, like, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, it works fine. So.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be kicking along just fine.
Good.
You know, going
Good.
forward, you know, future buyer will have to deal with some stuff here
Sure.
and there, but that's
It's kind of life.
kind of it. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Great.
So again, no major issues. What I did comment on were a couple install things that can be corrected. One example would be the condensate drain line for that system.
Okay.
That's where it kind of discharges all whatever moisture is building up. They actually ran it into the crawl space, so it's just
Right.
dumping that water into the crawl space.
Right.
You usually want to get that to the outside if
Sure,
you can. I
sure.
mean, it's into the dirt. It's not really damaging anything, so
it's not that big
huge,
a deal.
not that big of a
Right.
deal. But ideally, you want that outside.
Sure.
So a handyman can reroute that. It's just
Okay.
PVC, so it's
Okay.
not. You know, there are things that can be done, but
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about these needing to be done immediately.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Let's see. Let's get onto the roof. Now, the
Okay.
roof, there are some repairs I think that'll need to be made on the roof.
Okay.
And some of them seem to be more longer term. There's only a few shorter term repairs.
Okay.
Overall, what I'm seeing is just kind of general age on the roof.
Okay.
You have the material that's on there is what's called a composition, asphalt composition shingle.
Right.
You have two different grades. You have kind
Okay.
of a mid grade, which we expect about 25 to 30 years. That's usually best case scenario is roughly around 25 years.
And that's the main part of
That's
the
the
roof?
main part of the
Okay.
roof and the ADU. They weren't roofed at the same time, but it's
Yeah.
the same type of material.
Right.
So the ADU that's essentially it's a brand new roof.
Yeah.
That should
Yeah.
be good for a long time.
And I was told when I bought the house in 2015 that the roof was relatively new then, so it might have been done 2 years prior to that. So does that sound about right in terms of what you saw?
What I'm seeing is granule loss on the
Okay.
shingles.
Okay.
So and that's normal with age. So as the material gets exposed to the sun and dries out, the granules kind of loosen up and they wash
Sure.
away. So over time, basically the degree of granule loss kind of gives you an idea on the age, or at
Sure.
least the remaining service life.
Right.
I would say we're past the halfway point for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just based on what I'm seeing, it's not severe, you know,
Yeah.
but it is showing its age, and
Okay.
so I think within the next 5 to 8 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to know for sure,
Right.
but roughly,
Right.
they'll probably just need to, the material's
Yeah.
just going to age out.
Okay.
Now, in the short term, there are a couple other repairs. Over on this side of the house, it looks like they had originally a vent pipe going through the eaves.
Right.
So was it just a regular, like a tank water heater before?
You know, I don't know.
Okay. 'Cause I know that they put the
There might have
new tank
been
the tank was
actually
there.
because I added the continuous water heater on the side.
Okay.
here.
You know what?
So-
It is on this side. You're right. I
Yeah.
just got mixed up. It is on this side. So
but
I'm
there
wondering-
was a leak over my the back room there,
okay.
and so I got that repaired, and it was a roof issue.
I saw where the repair
You
was.
saw
Yeah,
that.
it's in that
Yeah.
transition area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it seems like it's buttoned up pretty well.
Yeah.
But that one open flashing, I would put seal it off
Okay.
permanently.
All right.
There's another smaller one for it was for a 2-inch vent pipe, plumbing vent out the middle of the roof that should be sealed up as well. There's a couple more short-term repairs, but either way, you know,